At the beginning of the year, I said that there probably wasn't going to be any platform launched in 2023. I guess that's a lie because we're starting to get some that have either recently launched, I'm just not finding out about, or that are going to be launching, which is great. And when I was at the NNA conference, of course, there's a bunch of vendors and like platforms and things like that. There was a platform called Pactima that I hadn't heard of before, but somebody came up to me and they're like, hey, you should check out this platform. They have a great pricing plan and things to offer. And so at the time, I went up and talked to the gentleman very briefly. And then more recently, I got an opportunity to talk to him again, get a demo of the site, see what it has to offer. And I definitely think it's worth checking out. So of course, I want to talk about it because I love talking about platforms. You should know this about me already. And so we're going to get into, of course, what it has to offer, where it's available, pricing, etc., etc. So it's actually not a new platform. It technically started in 2020, but it's based out of Canada. So it started in Canada in 2020, and I think more recently came stateside. Now, something to keep in mind about the platform is it is an independent platform, meaning that you have to provide your own clients. They do not bring you clients, okay? So don't expect to go onto the platform and them giving you clients and notarizations and things to do. You should be bringing your own customers to the platform. Something that I love about Pactima is it's not just a RON platform. It has e-signature solutions, it has RON, and it has IPEN, so it's kind of like a one-stop shop for all of your signing needs. And there's two different pricing plans that you have on the RON side or e-notary side. So you have the starter plan and you have the pro plan. So we're going to go ahead and just kick it off with the starter plan. Starter plan, it's kind of like the name suggests. It really is for somebody who is just now kind of getting started with RON, or you're still filling out RON, or maybe you do majority mobile notarizations and you only do RON like a handful of times a month. So you want a platform that's available to use if you do one, but it's not kind of your bread and butter, if you will. So with this plan, it is $10 per month and it is $5 per transaction max. It's just a $5 transaction fee. You don't pay any more per document or per seal, which is honestly a very, very good transaction price, even with the monthly price. $5 per transaction is like significantly lower than you'll find on pretty much any platform. So just keep that in mind if you're worried about the monthly cost. However, one thing about the starter plan is you only get 5 RON transactions a month. So if you're doing the starter plan, you pay $10 a month, $5 per transaction, but you are capped at that 5 RON transactions per month. If you want more, you can always go to the pro plan, which we'll talk about in a second. But that is something to definitely keep in mind. But again, if you're somebody who only does a handful of RON transactions a month, 1, 2, a sprinkle, then this plan is perfectly fine for you. So with the cost of the starter plan, you also get up to 10 signers. And again, you don't pay any more per document or per seal, which is honestly very uncommon for a platform that charges you per transaction. In addition, you get a electronic notarial journal for 10 years. You also get credential analysis through KBAs, ID verification, and biometric screening. You can have the signers in the same room, different devices. That's not an issue. And something that I do really like is that you have the ability to not send the signer the notarized document after the session. Let's say you're doing a loan signing and they don't want you to send it to the signer after the fact. You have the ability to toggle that. Or you can also send the document to somebody who wasn't in the session. So let's say that you're doing a notarization, but they also want that notarized document to go to some other party. You can indicate that as well, even if they were not in the signing, assuming that they don't also have to sign the document. So there's a lot that you can kind of play around with once you actually get into the session. But with that being said, now that you know about the starter plan, let's get into the pro plan. So with the pro plan, it's $75 a month, no transaction fee, and unlimited signings. Now, if you've ever seen me talk about a RON platform, I'm not a fan of high monthly fees. However, because this doesn't have a transaction fee, the numbers start to make sense. So if you think about it, if you've ever been on a platform that has no monthly fee but a transaction fee, a lot of times those transaction fees are like $10 per transaction plus $3 per notarial seal. So if you think about it, after like 7 transactions on the Pactima platform, it pays for itself. But it only makes sense if you're somebody who does like at least 7 to 8 RON transactions a month. If you do 7 to 8, this is easily the more affordable option to go with. because you can do 20, 30, 40, 50, however many transactions a month, and you're still only paying $75. And if you're on another platform, you would pay significantly more. So definitely something to consider if you're somebody who you know has high volume. If you have high volume of transactions, this is absolutely worth it in my book. And if I'm not mistaken, you get 10% off if you pay annually. So instead of paying month to month, if you pay annually, you end up getting 10% off the total purchase price. So just something to keep in mind. Now with the Pro plan, of course, you get everything in the starter plan plus some more. So you get calendar integration. So you'll be able to put your notarizations directly onto your favorite calendar app. That way you don't have any schedule conflicts or anything like that, which makes it very easy. You can also have custom branding or colors on your invite email. So when you create a notarization, it sends them an email. You can put that in your brand colors, and you can go ahead and have your brand logo, just make it a little bit more personalized. And you have the ability to have team management. So let's say you have a team with you and they schedule notarizations on your behalf or vice versa. You have that ability to do that on the platform as well. And another thing that you get is you get unlimited e-signatures, whether that's live, standard, or in person, which I love. The platform, whether you're on the starter plan or the Pro plan, you want to make sure that you have an electronic notarial seal and a digital certificate through IdenTrust, because they do not provide those. In addition, you have to charge your client off platform. So some platforms will allow you to charge the client directly on the platform. In this case, all you're doing is paying your own notarial fee on the platform. If you're charging your client, you need to do that through your own, preferred payment processing system, Stripe, PayPal, wherever you want to charge your client from. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, of course, we have to talk, where is it available? What states is it available? Which places can actually use the platform? And I'm going to put that on the screen so that way I don't have to read it all out. Now, because it is still a newer platform by definition, it's still getting launched in a lot of states. So make sure to just check back frequently, and you're bound to see more states getting added. So if you don't see your state right now, check back. I'm sure it'll be there in the future. There's one thing that I really like about this platform, and it's the fact that it is 100% browser-based, which means that your signer can do it on a phone, a tablet, or a computer, but so can the notary. Now you may say, well, aren't most platforms browser-based? And honestly, you would be right. But if you've ever tried to do a notarization as a notary on a phone, you would know that it's almost impossible, because most of the time it's not like formatted for you to do it on a smaller device. Like the picture doesn't show up right, it doesn't fit the screen, it's super clunky. But this one actually has the formatting for you as the notary to also be able to do it on your phone, on your tablet, or on your computer, which I think is like fantastic. Because a lot of people ask me, can you do the notarization on your tablet? And I always say, not really, because honestly, most platforms aren't built for you to be able to do it, but this one is. So if you want, as a notary, you can do it on your tablet. Or let's say for whatever reason you're really on the go and you have to do it on your phone, you can do that. Now, would I recommend doing it on phone? I mean, no, I still think it's going to be harder than doing it on a computer, but at least you have the ability to do that. Now, you may ask how that is when you have something like a digital certificate. Well, remember, when you're signing up on the platform, you upload your digital certificate, right? Like you give the platform access to it by uploading your certificate and then putting in your password. Well, that's already locked in. So whatever device you use after the fact to do the notarization doesn't matter. It's still going to use your digital certificate that you originally put in. So go ahead if you want and do it on your iPad or your phone. That's just something I had to mention because honestly, like that's like one of the biggest headaches. I've had times where I was in the middle of the notarization and 100% my fault. I should have planned better. I didn't charge my computer or something like that. Or I didn't my computer fritzed out or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to use now? And I could have easily just finished it on my phone or my tablet. And now I can. So that's something that I feel like gives bonus points for this platform. To see a full demo of the platform, there's actually already a pretty good video on YouTube about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just link it in the description. And of course, if you want to sign up for the platform, there will be a link in the comment section and one in the description as well. But now, of course, tell me, what are your thoughts? What do you think of the platform? Especially what do you think of the pricing structure? Because I know, of course, most notaries are price sensitive, which you should be. It's a business. You want to make sure it makes sense. But I'm really curious about what you think about what it has to offer, the pricing structure, how it's set up, all of that. So go ahead and leave all of that in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.